'Twas in a bygone era, one of excess and show, where plastic was a virtue and desks were full of blow. I came in with my ignorance, my youth to overthrow. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. And if you see me coming round, you can bet your lunch I'll always pass the test, for her. On that I stake my punch. In a world where life is nothing left but an unholy credit crunch. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. When words were shunned between us, there was little hope in hell. Everything up to that point had been a way to hold the spell. Try imagining a spot where love's always safe to dwell. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. I was thrown out of the station, left out in the cold, ambushed in the alley, never coming back into the fold. Haunted like taxation or a chronicle foretold. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Suddenly she had me found, and we had found somewhere. We close sticks, she had me crowned, asking me, are you prepared? She walked on with me so nakedly and ripped up my questionnaire. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Now there was a world between us, but something had got lost. We both took love for granted, and though we didn't count the cost, just to think that it all began before our stars got crossed. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Well, the mayor walks on his coattails, and the wise man rides a fool. But no good thing ever prevails if they done took you for a fool. And the wide-eyed funeral director, he's learned to play it cool. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Well, I've seen starving babies, bellies inflated like a round balloon. An old man past their prime, daydreaming of their honeymoon. Do I understand your question, man, or are you just some kind of loon? Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Beside a seaside village, I offered up my dose. I bargained my liberation, and they kept me on my toes. I tried to get back my innocence and got repaid with woes. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Well, I'm a foreigner in my own land, but I'm sure to go the extra mile. Prejudice walks a tightrope, someday it'll be worthwhile. If I could only wind back the world to the time of crocodiles. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm.